My name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast, and this is my Makeup Monday for this week. Today I'm not going to do a fancy fold card. I thought I might be boring you a bit with all the fancy folds I've been doing. I'm going to play with some dies from the annual catalogue called the Gorgeous Garden dies. They're beautiful, intricate dies. So I thought I'd show you a few cards that I've made with them, and just we'll make one that's nice and fun and simple-ish. So I shall flip down to the craft desk and we can get started. Okay, so these, where are they? They're my bits that I've got to do. These are the Gorgeous Garden dies in the annual catalogue. So there's this one and there's this one behind it, except I can't seem to get it out. There it is. So there's these two dies, and they're just beautiful, very intricate. So they do, I find, need to be wound back and forward through the cut emboss machine a few times, just to make sure it cuts through everything, especially if you've got adhesive sheet on your cardstock. But they're beautiful dies, and they come as a set, and from memory they are $74. Let me just have a little look. I'm pretty sure that's right. Yes, so they come as a set, the two dies in the pack, and they're 74 Australian dollars. So that are the dies. So these are the cards I've made. This one doesn't look as nice actually in my camera. I've used bubble bath behind it. This is the floral one, and just had adhesive sheet on the back of it and wound the white cardstock through the cut emboss machine. And then with the little baby blending brushes, the mini blending brushes, I've just put a bit of colour on it. Super simple card, that one. Doesn't look as good on my camera. This is another one with the floral, and I heat embossed the flowers from the Irresistible Blooms bundle, and then watercolor paper, and then I just used the aqua painter and some ink to colour the flowers. So that's another of the flower one. This is one with the leaves in the set, the leaf dies. I'm not too happy with this one, but you know, it's alright. And I put some of the ladybugs, the Hello Ladybug stamp set, I got that out. And I put some vellum, punch out of vellum from the Bow Punch with that one. So they're the three I played with first, and then I thought of doing this. I haven't put this one on a card yet. Using the Wild and Sweet stamp set, I thought I'd have a play and cut the center of the die out. So I had a play with that, and I fussy cut around the koala. Then I thought it looked a bit better this way. So that's what we're going to do tonight, but we're using boho blue card base and a bit of the Cheerful Daisy Designer Series paper. This paper's from the Cheerful Daisies, as you can see. And I've got another piece that I'm going to use tonight. So we'll put that there. I will need my die because I haven't done that, because I thought I'd do that with you guys. So I'll put that back in. And of course the other things I'm using are my other two most favourite things in the catalogue, Go To Greetings and the Stylish Shape dies for the banner. And I also used a decal rectangle die to stamp the koala on. So they're what we're using, and this is the daisy paper. I'll get that there. So it's Fresh as a Daisy, it's called, and at the moment for the month of June we have a designer series paper sale. So nearly all the paper packs in the annual catalogue are on sale 15% off, and the Cheerful Daisies is one of those paper packs. So it is down to, if I can find it on this paper, on this, there it is, $18.48 in Australia. So that's 15% off. So as I said, nearly all of the designer series paper packs in the annual catalogue are on sale, except for the in colour paper and the colour family papers, and you also get the Hello Irresistible paper in this paper sale that's in the online store. So remember that's for the month of June, running for the month of June. Okay, so I shall put my paper down and we'll get what we need. So as I said, I'm doing boho blue this time, just for a little bit of a change. I've already cut my deckled rectangle die out for my koala, and I've cut my daisy paper out. I'm using the blue behind for this one. So, but what we're first going to do is get the cut and emboss machine in, and we're going to cut our intricate die out. So let me just lift that across, so it won't be a second. Okay, so we've got our die, so I'm just putting it face down on my piece of cardstock, just centering it, and I'm just putting it at an angle. And the reason I'm doing it at an angle is that when you've got a straight line and you wind it through, the machine does make a bit of a clunk. So you can avoid that by putting your straight dies at a bit of an angle. So I'm just getting that lined up and move that out, put my top plate on and wind that through. Now, as I said, with intricate dies, I do wind them back and forward a few times just to make sure I get a good clean cut on my cardstock. And if you've got adhesive sheet on the back of your cardstock, you do have to wind it through a few times. So let me have a look and see how we went with that. So obviously some pieces have fallen out. You can, I don't know if you can see very well, I'll get rid of my plate. That looks like it's cut through everywhere. I'm pretty sure. Yes, so I will be happy with that. So I shall put this to one side because I've already cut out my banner and my deckled rectangle. Okay, so before I get rid of all my scraps, I'll empty my little bin so you can't see all the scraps that are in there. Okay. So I'm just going to, actually what I'll do is grab my little mat and my, oh, here it is. Pick tool with the die brush on it. This is the best way to get intricate bits out of your intricate dies that you cut out. And sometimes you've got to just pull out a few more out. Now down here, has it cut through properly? Let me have a look. Just about. Okay. And oops, it's broken that little bit off, but that's okay because we might end up cutting that little bit off anyway. Okay, looks like it's okay. So I'll just get all my little scraps. So this die brush is an extra that you can buy in the annual catalogue and put it on the end of your take your pick tool. It's one of the really good accessories to have if you do a lot of die cutting. Yeah, you can't beat that. Okay, so that's that. I'm pretty sure we'll fix that somehow. Okay, so that's my die. So let me get my bits and my card back down. Oh, I've still got some up here. See, sometimes you just can't see where you haven't popped the whole things out. Okay, now my card base, I have made it a little bit smaller because these dies are designed for the American size card fronts. Our card fronts are a little bit bigger, but I have only cut our card front down, our card size down by, let me just check for you. So it's normally 14.8 or 14.9 centimeters, and I've just cut it at 14.5. So it's not a big difference, but just enough to make a difference when you're putting a die on it that's an American size die. So, okay. So I shall get my lovely little koala card in. Now I'm going to use basic grey ink, and I'll use one of these blocks. It's not a Stampin' Up block, but the koala fits on it quite well, so I'll use that. And then we'll put that there. So we've got our little deckled rectangle die, and we've got our basic grey ink. Oops. So we've got a long weekend here in Australia. Well, in New South Wales. I don't think every state in Australia has. It used to be the Queen's birthday weekend, but it's now the King's birthday, which I can't get used to that. It's always been the Queen's birthday weekend. And it always falls around my birthday, so I'm going to continue to call it the Queen's birthday weekend. Okay, so I'm just lining my koala up. I'll try not to bring my head in. And I'm just going to stamp him down onto my deckled rectangle. I probably could use the next size up, but I didn't want to go too big because I wanted my paper around him to show. There we go. Isn't he cute? What a cutie pie. So that was basic grey ink. What cutie pie. So yeah, so we've got a long weekend. So our Monday here in New South Wales, it's a public holiday, which is nice. So let's put our little koala back in his case. Okay, so what I want to do, I'll keep my card base out of the way, is I want to put my koala down on my matting piece in the center pretty much, and then I think I'll stick him down before I try to do this. So yes, let's stick him down now. So we, my husband and I and my daughter, we went and saw Mamma Mia, the musical, on Sunday, and that was fantastic. It was down in Sydney at the Lyric Theatre, and that was just fantastic. It was one of Olivia's and my favourite movie, and we enjoyed the musical very much. Okay, so now I'll get my paper snips, and what I'm going to do is just cut out some of the foliage in the middle. See, and it doesn't matter that this one tore a little bit because our banner will go over that and we don't really care. So let me just line this up. So I have made my designer series paper a fraction bigger than my die piece, and I've done that for a reason, because sometimes it's hard to stick it down onto a piece of paper that's exactly the same size. So I'm just going around, snipping off bits and pieces, trying to work out where this is going to come out. I need one here, and I need this is just an interesting way of using this die. I thought we can doctor it a little bit, and I might just snip that there. So just taking that center piece out. You could keep that, use it on another card, but then it looks like the koala's just sort of sitting there waiting to be seen through the trees. Now I'm going to get my scissors and just doctor up a little bit down here, a little bit of the dye that didn't quite come out. There we go. But as I said, my my banner from the Stylish Shape dies will cover up anything down here. So let's get our silicone mat and put some glue. Now I'm just wondering if I should use my fine tip glue. There's another little piece of dye that didn't fall out, and there's another little piece. So they are intricate. I think that's everything now. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll use my fine tip glue pen. Get off. Rather than the Tombow. Okay. So I'm just going to run it around the edge, assuming there's some left in it. Oh, maybe this is let's go with the Tombow because that's not seeming to work for me. I can hear there's some still left in it. Plenty left in it. Maybe it's just got a blockage somewhere in its little tube. So let's go with the Tombow and just put that round the edge. And I'm just going to put some Tombow on some of the leaves, just so they stick down as well. Just a little dot here and there. That should be enough. Okay. So as I said, my designer series paper is a fraction bigger than my my intricate die. So I am just going to, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. I can cut this down a little bit. It's stuck on my finger now. Okay. So just going to pat that down. Ah, if it doesn't stick on my finger. A little bit of spurtage. And if you have any section where you haven't got a little bit of glue and you want some glue, just pop a little spot and stick it down. I think that's pretty good. Okay. So I shall get my trimmer. Oops. Oh, that was the paper sale brochure. I shall get my trimmer and just trim this down a little bit. Okay. Let's take that off. As I said, I found it a little bit easier if it was just a fraction bigger than the die piece to attach it to the designer series paper. That one might be better, oops, better off with paper snips. So let's bring this in and see what we think. can see some excess glue that I do not want there. So just, and you're probably thinking, why didn't you use adhesive sheet? And the reason is I actually get into a worse mess with adhesive sheet, particularly if you're trying to put it over the top of something. I do use adhesive sheet on other occasions, but for this type of card, I felt it was better to go this way. Okay, so now I am going to put glue on the back of our pretty piece of paper. And I might open my card up and put it up to the score line. And press it down. So you can see I have a little bit of overhang, and I'll just get my paper snips and I'll cut down there just to tidy that up. But for the time being, I'll leave it as it is. And there's another little, what did I do? I put my glue away. There's another little leaf here that I think could use with a little dab of glue. You have to hold it down though. And there's one over here that I think could use a little dab of glue. There's one up here. Otherwise they catch and they might tear off, and I don't want that happening. And I think one here. There we go. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now, I heat embossed this one on the banner, but do you know what? I think I'm just going to get my Night of Navy for my boho blue banner. I'll get rid of my silicone mat. There we go. And we shall make, I think it's a happy birthday card. I really do. I can't see it to be any other card. There we go. And I'm just going to stamp it down here. Yep. Okay, so I'll bring it down. Try not to bring my head in. And that's pretty good. Happy with that. And before I put my arm in the inky stamp, I shall clean it off and pop it back. So I'm going to pop that there on dimensionals. I'll use my little mini ones that I'm using up from a kit. That's not my pick tool. Here we go. So I hope you've enjoyed watching how I've just sort of altered this intricate die to make it like a little window into the koala's world. I really think it's a cute way of altering it. You could do it for all sorts of, you know, a scene or something like that. But I just thought the koala's up in the tree and he can have all the trees around him, all the leaves and everything going around him. There we go. Now I've got a little bit of glue. I can see tacky, tacky, tacky. I don't want tacky. Just cleaning up any little splodges that I can see. Yeah, and I shall get some bling down. Now I put the matte, what did I put on this one? the classic matte dots, the grey ones on this. Let me see what we've got. Solid Gems has got some boho blue in there. They might be nice. And look, we can do a large one up here. And one over here maybe. And a little one. Whoops, where did he go? There he is. And maybe a little one down here on this leaf. So they're the Solid Gems that are part of the Cheerful Daisy Suite, the paper that we've used. So where did they go there? So I will put a insert inside, which I will have to cut down because my card's a little bit shorter. So let me grab my trimmer and I will cut my insert down to say 13.9. It's the right width, so we don't need to cut that down. And I will come back and just trim this down here because we don't want any overhang. Oops. Okay, so put my card insert in. There we go. Oops. Oopsie. Okay. So as I said, I'll come back and fix that little overhang. So that is, I'll bring it up and see if you can see it a little bit better. That's my cute gorgeous garden dies with my wild and sweet koala. Do you like that? It's just a little bit different, and it's different from a fancy fold. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Here are my other ones that I've done with these beautiful dies. I have been playing a little bit. That was my first try at the window one. So I hope you like all those. But yeah, have a go. Let me go back to my face view if I can find my mouse. There we go. There we are. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a play with your detailed dies. See what you can come up with. They're a bit of fun. I have got something else that arrived on Friday, and this is the Delightful Doily hybrid embossing folder and dies. I'm looking forward to playing with that too. So maybe I won't do any fancy folds for a few weeks. We'll see how we go. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and keep warm because winter is upon us. So keep warm, and I shall see you on Friday for Card and a Cuppa. Bye for now.